Hey guys, and welcome back. So if you haven't seen the video from the weekend of the in-car drifting and you want to, go check that out. But thought I'd do a bit of an update on the 4.1 Falcon for the 1974 Mahindra Jeep off-road build. I've been putting different photos up on Instagram and that. If you haven't got that, I'll link it in the description. Pretty much what has set this motor back from going in. Biggest setback being we pulled everything off there. We've still got to pull the oil pump out and put in this motor. But the biggest setback was we pulled that water pump off and found that it was absolutely toast. And so I went and brought a new one, and this is a proper 4.1 Falcon water pump, brand new, all that stuff. The water pump that was on that was a 3-litre Falcon water pump, which is why when my dad and granddad were competing in it, they could never keep it cool, because it wasn't circulating enough water, it wasn't doing its job properly, and it is probably why that thing just never loved life to what the other motors did. Other setbacks on this, pretty much between getting a water pump pulley and I've got to pull the spigot bush out of that motor and the water oil pump and put in this one. Reason being, I'm reusing a spigot bush, and a lot of you guys are going to jump up and down about this, is that motor only did 3 events and it's got a specialized spigot bush. It has a needle bearing spigot bush. I'll take some photos when I pull it out. I'll be using the gummy bear trick, so if you want to see me see how to pull a spigot bush out with gummy bears, hit that bell notification in the corner and I'll upload that. That'll be this week. We'll be going up, or this weekend. But this is the other reason it hasn't gone in. So these are the rubber mounts that they made to put the motor in. So they were two 150mm pieces of rubber with steel plates and then bolts top and bottom. All well and good, but the rubber's perished, and that, as you'd expect from years of abuse in the mud, you cannot buy 150mm thick rubber anywhere. I have tried. I've tried power rubber, I've tried different suppliers. So tomorrow I'm heading up to a truck wrecker to see if they have any old bump stops left laying around, and pretty much I'm going to pull a bump stop, cut a bump stop up and use that to make engine mounts. For those of you who don't know what they are, they're pretty much just solid rubber, cone shape. Yeah, once I've got everything out of that motor on this one and the new pulley arrives, I'll have to put the motor in, bolt it all up, wire everything up, which is pretty basic. Like, we've got brand new coil over there, there's like new water pump, new spark plugs have gone in it. I've got a new spare carburetor and rebuild kit on the way, so I'm going to rebuild a spare carb for if this one ever dies. I've got to set true dead center on the motor, which is quite nice because it's got the firing order there, and then it's got down here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it has TDS, so the notches on the pulley set for true dead center. Once the motor's in, then I can put the front end back on and I can set up the radiator fans and a few other things that I want to do to it. Put some light bars on it and different bits and pieces. Put the battery box in, which is sitting over by the Daimler. Yeah, but that sort of gives you a bit of an idea of why this motor hasn't gone in. I hope to have it in by the weekend, all going to plan. Problem with these motors is finding the parts is hard, and finding them locally is even harder. Like finding the gasket for, so this is the fuel pump. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this style, this is a crank driven fuel pump that literally just smacks on the crank as it goes around and pumps the fuel through. So finding the gasket for this to go into on the block was a nightmare. I could only get them out of Australia. They were going to cost me around $18 by the time I got them here. I've got gasket paper, I've made gaskets before, so why would I buy one? And once I've got one, I can actually order a couple more. But I just want this motor going, and yeah, the trenches are a bit flooded at the moment, so I'll be able to have fun in the trenches and get the thing dirty. Yeah, but thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. The support's growing. We've hit, was it 12,500 views, I think it was, when almost 12,500, might have been 12,500 views, or might be getting up to 13. It's awesome. I never expected it to grow so fast. I sort of stopped uploading for a while once I sold the D2 because I didn't have much to upload about. Since I've started uploading, just the views are going through the roof. The people on the Instagram and people commenting and stuff like that, it makes me want to do it more. It's making me like, I don't like being on camera, and if you might have noticed that there's only one video of me actually on camera, which is the time lapse of pulling the 25 Neo out. But I've gone out and I've invested in new cameras, I've invested in more equipment, and I'm going to start taking YouTube more seriously because I'm actually enjoying doing it, and it's not just it's not like for a financial benefit. It's building a lot more confidence in myself doing these videos, and it also helps you guys out and meeting different people and talking to different people. It's actually amazing how YouTube has sort of altered my life and my views on things. But yeah, so big thanks to you guys for all the support. It's made me want to continue doing this, and yeah, big shout out to you. So hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Hope your weekend's good. Do some burnouts on private roads, obviously. Not that I condone drifting or burnouts or anything illegal at all. And yeah, have a good one. Later, guys.